Hey guys, I'm Chase Brogan, and today we're checking out one of the most futuristic looking mini PCs that I've ever tested. This is the ACEMAGIC M1A Pro Tank Center AI mini PC, and right off the bat, this thing does not look like your average boring office computer. It has an aggressive futuristic design, RGB lighting, and a really unique sci-fi aesthetic that makes it feel more like a high-end gaming machine than a basic desktop PC. But the design here is only part of its story because the specs inside this thing are pretty insane. This model is powered by the Intel Core i9 13900HK processor, which offers 14 cores, 20 threads, and speed boosts up to 5.4 GHz. It also has 32 GB of RAM and a 1 TB SSD installed within here, but most importantly, this version right here has a dedicated Intel Arc A770 graphics card. And that's a big deal because this isn't relying on weak integrated graphics like a lot of other mini PCs. With a real dedicated GPU inside, this should have a lot more potential for modern day AAA gaming. So in this video, I'm going to put it through its paces with PC games, PS2, GameCube, Wii U, Switch, PS3, and maybe we'll even throw in some Xbox or Xbox 360 emulation to see what this futuristic mini PC can really handle. Because on paper, this looks less like a basic mini PC and way more like a high-end gaming PC. So let's dive into it. We're going to unbox this, we'll take a look at the layout and design, and then we're going to put it to the ultimate test here with a wide range of games.
All right, guys, here's everything from within the box. So we've got our two-part power supply cable. This end right here is going to plug into this side over here. This end goes into the actual unit itself. Other side is going to plug into your power outlet to provide charge and power to your actual unit. We've got our user manual right here, which I always like to just kind of thumb through here just briefly, just to see how everything's laid out within. So it does walk through all the different port options on here. We're going to comb through all that stuff momentarily. Let's take another look in here. So it walks through how to use the performance dial on the front, which is located right over here. We're going to dive into all this stuff, but it looks like it does a really great job of breaking down all the different ports on here and how to basically go through this and use everything, including replacing or installing M.2 SSDs internally on here. So we're going to set that aside. We even have a braided HDMI cable, very nice cable here as well, super high quality. Love the braid on here. I've actually used this brand before, so very nicely put together. But let's take a closer look now at the actual mini PC itself. So as I mentioned before, we do have a performance dial on here. There's going to be 3 modes that we can select. We have our power button located right down here. This is going to light up once we power it on as well. We have 2 USB 3 ports located on the front, one on this side, one on that side. We've got our USB 4 Type-C port over here. We also have an SD card reader built right into it. So I actually record to SD cards. I could actually just take out my SD card. I've got one right here, and we'd be able to just simply plug that in and remove it when we want to. So I love that. We don't need adapters. We've got the actual reader built right into the front of the unit. And we've also got our audio cable jack connection right here on the front as well. So plug in your headset if you want to right on the front there. As a gamer, doesn't get any more convenient than that. Excellent ventilation throughout the entire unit. You can see the entire top of this is ventilated, as well as the bump out right over here for the front panel. So you can see all the way around that. There's ventilation. There's also ventilation on the side over here and on this side too. So very nicely put together. Love the way that this looks. It's actually relatively lightweight considering. I mean, it's not necessarily as light as the average mini PC, but in terms of something this size, is actually much lighter than what I was anticipating. So we're going to turn this all the way around, but you can see the sleek design throughout. All right, guys, now let's take a look at the back side. We've got ventilation on the back, which is consistent with pretty much all sides of this unit, but this is where the magic happens. First off, we've got a line out port right over here, right above 4 USB 3 ports. Those are all, of course, USB-A. We have 3 display ports across here for the direct GPU out, so 3 display ports right there, and we also have 3 HDMI ports, 2 of which have a cover over them. I am going to just simply remove that right now, just so we can take a peek in there and just verify that the ports are actually in there. I have seen some units where the covers here basically just cover up a port where you can add an HDMI port, but that's not the case here. You can see everything is pre-installed, so we don't have to worry about anything being, not fully functional. We've got all 3 of those HDMI ports, all three of those display ports readily available for us. We have our DC power supply cable connection, which will be right over there. We've got that cable here that's going to simply plug in just like so. And then underneath this yellow tape right here is our Ethernet port. So if we go ahead and we peel that up, suppose we should peel it from the peel tab, right? There you go. You can see we have our Ethernet port back there, so we can get internet direct rather than going through Wi-Fi if we want to. You don't have to go that route. Now you'll also notice over here we have a locking mechanism that enables you to take this side panel off. So take a look at this. You guys can go in here, make your adjustments directly inside of the unit without having to unscrew a bunch of things. It doesn't get any simpler than that. When you want to go ahead and reinstall this, you just simply line it up, slide it over, lock it in place. And you can see now locked right back up. So love that. It doesn't get any easier than that. Now take a look at this side. Over here, we have another locking mechanism. So we're going to unlock it by flipping this up, and then we're going to just push it forward. Slides across the track, and then we can go ahead and open that up. Now this is where we go in here, and we can start messing with our storage. And there you go. You can see everything inside of here. We've got our SSD installed currently, which came stock on this unit, but we have an additional slot right here where we can easily go ahead and install another SSD to expand upon storage capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and close this back up. You can see all we have to do is just line it up. We're going to slide it to the right, and then we're going to lock it in place. And now you can see it's safe and secure. Very unique design here. I love what this has to offer. Now we're going to go ahead and set everything up. I'm going to first plug in my power supply cable on the back side. I'm going to get this up and running with my monitor. We're going to jump into a wide range of different games. We're going to be toggling between the different modes on here as well, which definitely are going to pack a punch with gaming. And we're going to see where the performance lies.
Hostiles moving up!
Take your time, I ain't going anywhere!
Why don't you walk—
Enemy down! Frag out! Nice one, muchacho! Cabrón, shut him up good!
Move! Clear right. Clear left. Stack up. Stand by. On my go. One ready. Two ready. On my mark. Go!
Fight. KO. Round 2. Fight. Perfect round. Fight. KO. You win.
Alright guys, we jumped in here, we checked out a wide range of games to really test the performance. Now before I start talking about the performance that I experienced here, I want to highlight the cooling system because the cooling system here really impressed me. I put this through the ultimate test today. I jumped into a wide range of games, a lot of which were AAA titles, and this stayed cool throughout the entire experience, which took hours and hours to film. I always cut these videos down into just a few minutes, but it takes a lot of time to actually test these out, and this stayed cool from start to finish. It's also virtually silent as well, so if you powered this on and you didn't have the RGB lights, going at all times, you would actually struggle to know that this is even powered on. It's that quiet. So really impressed by all that. Now, like I said, we put this through the ultimate test. We jumped into a lot of retro video game emulation, mainly focusing on the more demanding titles, so GameCube, Xbox, Xbox 360, PS2, PS3, and some of the Nintendo titles as well. And we had a great experience here, no limitations whatsoever when it comes to retro video game emulation. So this can literally handle anything out there that is available via emulation gaming. There are some limitations with certain emulators, certain titles that, aren't really working perfectly. That's not because of this system by any means or the specs. That's just that emulation is constantly evolving and constantly getting better. Not everything works perfect. I just want to highlight that. But again, that's not because of this unit. That's because emulation has its limitations. But this mini gaming PC can do so much more than just emulation. You can in fact dive into AAA games and actually have a very good experience. So I ended up walking away very impressed by what this can do. Now this is one of those mini gaming PCs that really challenges what we're used to thinking about small form factor systems and what they're capable of, because this far exceeded the expectations that I personally had. Most mini gaming PCs these days are, yes, they're meant for old school gaming. They're meant for retro video game emulation. They can handle PS2. They can handle, PS1 and 64, all that good stuff. I've done a million videos on all that. But it's very rare that you find a mini gaming PC that can handle AAA gaming and handle it well. So this was really a great experience here. But I do want to highlight a couple important things that I think is important to understand about who this machine is really for. If you're somebody that's out there looking to simply chase maximum performance per dollar, there are definitely larger desktop gaming systems out there with RTX graphics cards that are going to give you way more raw gaming power for similar money. That's just the reality of the market right now. But I also think that kind of misses the point of a product like this. What makes this system interesting is the balance between size, power, thermals, and versatility. You're getting a machine that can sit almost anywhere. You can put it on your desk, you can put it on the mantle in your living room, you can play games on it, but you're also able to use it for video editing, content creation, just about any task that you ever want to do on a computer. And honestly, the emulation performance here is probably the biggest highlight for me personally. Yes, I'm a retro gaming fanatic, but you're able to get through PS2, GameCube, Wii, Xbox, Xbox 360, Nintendo Switch even. I think I said Xbox 360. I mean, Xbox 360 is the exclamation point here because we've gotten PS3 working on some mini PCs fairly well, but this one is much better and it can handle Xbox 360 seamlessly. Now, again, mentioned this before, I'm going to mention it again just so I don't let anybody down. Not every 360 game is going to emulate well. That's a limitation of the emulator and those titles, not the actual performance of the unit itself here. So I think this would be a great option if you're somebody that's looking to build a compact all-in-one gaming setup and you don't want to deal with limitations of, hey, I can play GameCube, but I can't play, PS3. This is going to unlock all the capabilities of literally everything retro gaming. So it makes a tremendous amount of sense for that. Now, when it comes to modern AAA gaming, I think the Intel Arc graphics here are honestly better than a lot of people expect. Intel's drivers have improved massively over the last couple of years, and newer DirectX 12 and Vulkan games especially can run surprisingly well on this hardware. That said, though, I want to keep expectations 100% realistic once again. You may run into occasional driver quirks or games that perform better than others depending on optimization. That's honestly just part of the Arc ecosystem right now. It's much better than it used to be, but still not quite as universally polished as something like NVIDIA. Now, overall, I do believe that in actual gameplay, I think this system performs well enough that most people are going to walk away really impressed by it, especially once you remember how compact and small this system is. And honestly, I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. This isn't trying to replace a giant full-scale gaming tower. It's trying to deliver a surprisingly high-end gaming experience in an incredibly compact package. And I think it definitely succeeds at that. So overall, I'd say this is probably best suited for people that want a compact gaming setup, a powerful emulation machine that, again, they can build into their own experience without limitations, or just something that they are able to play in a living room where you probably can't bring in a full-scale gaming PC easily. It would definitely be an eyesore, and my wife would probably have it removed pretty soon after I put it in there. So this gives you a much smaller footprint, gives you a lot more versatility. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. It's a little expensive, honestly, for the hardware that's inside. I do think that it prices on the higher side for sure, but at the same time, after actually using it and seeing what it's capable of firsthand, I can definitely understand the appeal here. There's something genuinely impressive about seeing a mini PC this size handling the games that it handles. Now, there's also a dial on the front of this that I do want to mention. It's a big part of the marketing for this. It's a big thing that people are talking about. Honestly, I had it on because I'm gaming. I'm pretty much going to have it dialed into max performance at all times. So, for me, because I'm getting this solely to game on here, I'm not really doing much video editing on here. And if I do, I'll probably want it on max anyways. I find that I'm personally just using it on the max settings. And I feel like that's probably what most people are going to do. Are you really going to turn it down to the lower end settings ever? No, you're probably just going to keep it cranked up at all times. So to me, I'm not, I don't think it's a huge deal to have the dial on there. Some people will disagree with me. That's just my take on it. But again, I'm pretty one-dimensional with what I'm using this for. So that could be why I feel that way. But if you want to learn more about this product, click the link in the description of this video. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Thanks for supporting the channel. Click those links, learn a little bit more. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this setup today. Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's practical? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.